That sort of makes me think of the little children downstairs. I bet you that's gone by the wayside, the little good morning. Has it? Or you do? So what's your morning song?
Say happy.
Oh, oh, sweet. Oh,
You're very good. You shake hands.
oh, how sweet.
Designated child.
And tell everybody how old these children are.
These are my.
Oh, 18 months to 3.
Very
Oh my
good.
gosh.
It's a miracle you still speak in multi-syllabic words.
Yeah. Hi, Robin. All right. Good morning, everybody. You missed the good morning song, Robin. Okay, here we are. So this is part 2 of the most beautiful Sunday ever, almost, I think, last Sunday. Because of, sorry?
It was the most beautiful Sunday. of
Since-
last week.
Since last week, yeah. You brought beautiful things. And the bad news is we didn't get a recording. So much to my great sorrow, we did not record it. So, because I'm sitting here the whole time going, I gotta write this down. I've got to copy this down. And especially Janet, yours that came in from Zoom. And I imagine you have them written down, do you? You're,
Not here.
so, no, but so just in case we do want to kind of put a little packet together, we will have to kind of do some manual bringing in some pages for us to transcribe. But anyway, so much for that. We will record today and we will pretty much pick up where we left off. I wanted to do a little check-in at first here. First of all, we have wonderful goodies. So coffee, tea, and lots of really good finger. You can pick it up and it's not an entire loaf of bread kind of morning. So grab what you want. We have one more Sunday in the building after today, and until things change. I wanted to just check and see how you all are doing. I felt I spent more time thinking about things I'd rather not think about this week. The political scene. I don't know. How was it for you? Mm. Mm.
It makes me try to see the hope. Because we must cling to the idea that we can prevail. As
Mm.
my friend Tom Heisenreiter said, I can't believe that more than half of our country doesn't really like that man.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to get too specific.
And just finding other things that.
Yes. And Marianne went out with her, a little 8-year-old that she was in school with, was a teacher for someone from, yeah. So good for the spirits and especially little kids, that they're oblivious to all this stuff. I remember there was a guy on Twitter during COVID when we were all in and we'd been in for maybe 8 or 9 months. And he goes, does anybody else out there pass a baby or a puppy and just cry? And kind of the little innocent ones. Okay, I feel like we are well. I wanted to do something just in honor of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, who passed away Friday. Was 74 from the Houston area. She'd been a congressperson for 30 years already. Active in the civil rights movement. The person who's responsible for making Juneteenth the most recent and first federal holiday that's been instituted in a good many years. So June 19th is now a federal holiday. She also was instrumental in creating the Domestic Violence, the Violence Against Women Act, and the renewal of that. So let me just read a little thing. You have me teaching from Sharon Salzberg a lot, but this one I just heard on the way over and it was perfect. She's talking about another person. This was a musician from the group Sweet Honey in the Rock, who was also, her name was Bernice Johnson Reagan. And she said she was a dedicated civil rights activist in the early 60s. Recalling the danger she and her friends faced in challenging segregation in Georgia, she says, now I look back and look at some of the things we did and I say, what in the world came over us? But death had nothing to do with what we were doing. If somebody shot us, we would be dead. And when people died, we cried and we went to funerals. And we went and did the next thing the next day because it was really beyond life and death. It was really like sometimes you know what you're supposed to be doing. And when you know what you're supposed to be doing, it's somebody else's job to kill you. So God bless you, Sheila Jackson Lee. Rest in power. I was telling Mary Ann that the universe is talking to me this morning because I grabbed the book that I heard this from this morning as I was leaving and then went downstairs and to find it and opened it up to that page. So thank you, God, for a little guidance there. I also just wanted to call to your attention that we do still have new copies of the Equanimity Teachings. And I point those of you who were not here to that yellow page in the back. How we relate to inevitable ups and downs is how our life will go. We can find freedom in seeing things how they are. Hi, Sue. Ever-changing and impermanent. So the bad stuff doesn't stay bad. The good stuff might not stay good. Everything changes. We can be strong. Join me in saying the credo. We live a life by love transformed, by spirit empowered, by creative imagination guided, in peace with all. Now this morning, Jeff has offered to light the peace candle and give us a word.
Put it up in the hallway on the bulletin board. You come home, make some tea, sit down in your armchair, and all around there's silence.
Go a little louder.
Everyone decides for themselves whether that's loneliness or freedom.
Would you repeat that?
Certainly.
Thank you.
You come home, make some tea, sit down in your armchair, and all around there's silence. Everyone decides for themselves whether that's loneliness or freedom. Peace be with you.
Yes, thank you for leaving that. Maybe we could even put it on the bulletin board. Who has an announcement?
Stay put. Well, we're going to meet all the requirements we can, all the hoops we can jump through to get our insurance coverage back. And one of those steps was taken this Saturday. We had a tree company come in. They took down trees around the yellow barn, and they took down this big tree out here that the insurance companies didn't like either. Don't be too sad to see the tree go. It was in the beginning stages of its own decline due to bacterial leaf scorch, which is why there are so many leaves on the ground in the fall underneath the pin oak, which usually holds its foliage until the new buds pop out in the spring. So its clock was ticking. So it was going to come down, or it's going to come down. It's okay. Now I look and I can see the bright light in here, and I never noticed they didn't repaint when they put in the split units. I mean, see, they just patched the holes up above. So now I'm looking, we got to do painting. Okay, well, we're doing all we can to get that insurance coverage. We don't know when. In the meantime, we just have low profile, and we'll go to Zoom until we can get that liability coverage again. And we've got 4 different agents we're communicating with, trying to get things settled as quickly as possible. I'll let it go at that.
Thank you.
And we'll take it from there.
And I welcome all ideas for things that lend themselves to celebration on Zoom. So if you have a practice that is teachable on Zoom, tapping has worked on Zoom. I've done that with you. Other guided meditations, talks on meaningful things, just let me know. Welcome that. It could end up that we're right back here. Who knows? But that might be a little hopeful. But in any event, ideas are welcome. Other announcements? Gary, yeah.
So next Saturday night, July 27th, we have a concert. Derek Marshall is one of our own young members who's been part of Pebble for many years. Some of you who've been coming for a while know Derek. Some of you may not know Derek. He's went to camp, and his mother is Sally, and he has a record that an album that he's releasing. So he's having an album release party next Saturday night. So we'd love to see folks come out and support Derek. I have tickets if you want to buy them, $20 in advance. I can give you a ticket if you want to pay up front, or you can buy it online and pay the PayPal fees or pay at the door. So we decided to keep the ticket price the same for in advance or at the door. It's going to be $20 all the way around. 7:30 next Saturday, the 27th of July. You will hear a few samples of his music. I'm going to play a few of his songs during the celebration, so you can have a sense of his music. It is rock and roll, but he puts a lot of heart and soul into it. So, thank you.
And Janet has an announcement. Watch your flames, my dear.
So this coming Thursday in Philly on Passyunk Avenue, I have a friend who has a typewriter shop, and he is allowing me and my team, I have a team of people that Gary is on the team and some other friends. We do this thing called the Bridge Workshop. And the concept is to bridge the gap in mental health. There's a gap between people who have mental health issues and people who live around people who have them, or which is really everybody. It's all around us. And we make it creative and fun. And it's going to be at 7 o'clock to 8:30. And I have the information here. We're looking for a couple more commitments. So please, if you're interested, please come and talk to me afterwards. It's very interactive and a nice way to be able to talk about these things. Thank you. It's this Thursday.
Sure. Anyone else? And how about birthdays? What day was it? The 18th. Hmm. What was your twin's name? Justin. Justin. Well, happy birthday to both of you. Anybody's coming up this week? Oh, also, same as Robin.
My husband is today.
Okay, and his name is Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. Well, let's sing. Should we sing? And you should lead because you're his wife. You're well, hopefully, wait, are we recording? this? To record. We're just gonna sing the Pebble version of Happy Birthday. And she puts her phone back in. That won't be that memorable. Huh, Dave.
Jen just told me that Nancy wanted me to announce that Tina Margot will be singing at Poco's at 4 p.m. No cover charge, Mexican food. Tina Margot is a really professional singer. So there you go. She's a
Sort of what, like, sort of folk, sort of easy listening or kind of.
Sing Besame Mucho.
Yeah.
There's some real feeling into it.
Bill gets excited whenever Tina sings. Bésame mucho. Yeah, yeah.
She got motion too.
I chatted with Raphael this weekend. That just reminds me, and he's going to go off to Germany again in late August and visit his family. You know, his daughter and son-in-law are both opera singers. And I believe, I was going to say Frankfurt. No, that's not right. But in Germany. And he has a little grand dude, little boy who might be about 3 now.
Ross, I just remembered my mom's birthday is July 22nd. And she died in 2010. So that would have been her 106th birthday.
And how old? Her name is
Barbara.
Barbara.
And my father passed on her birthday. in
When she was
2000.
still alive or not? Yes.
And thanks, Bill, for reminding me that today is Tony Coolish's 101st birthday.
Yay.
Wow.
Okay, so we're singing, Chris, if you're out there, Tony, if you're out there. All right, let's do this. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you go out again, one light sings of love. It's the love light in your eyes wherever. Yay, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nick. All right. And I have my own copies.
And if you are interested in coming, please RSVP, that would be helpful.
And is that to you directly or to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call me, you can contact me. I'll just say, quick plug.
Here it is.
A quick plug for this workshop. This is something that Janet and I have done, and we have a few other people that are part of our Bridge partners. And it's really been a beautiful thing to create conversations around mental health and talk about stigma, address concepts such as suicide. Some of these are hard topics to talk about, and addiction, bullying. So it's a good conversation to just to raise awareness, and it's going to be held in South Philly. I know South Philly is not around the corner from people up in Bucks County. But if you have the energy to come and support the event, it'll be 7 o'clock, right? On this Thursday, the 25th. So it'll be also, if you want to experience what it's like to be in a place where they actually have old time typewriters. These are these are quite unique. They're electric. They're manual typewriters, and Brian Kravitz has created a whole business on revitalizing the physical typewriter itself, the machines, and has generated them and rehabilitated them. And it's an amazing thing. There are people that like the actual physical touch of typing, and as opposed to computers, it's a whole different kind of thing. And there are people, and there are, I guess you would see it as similar to those people who like to use the fountain pen. So it's, but there's something about it that is quite interesting and quite phenomenal. So it's definitely a rare experience to even come to the facility, the place itself, and see what it looks like. If you want to, that's right. The 1920s, they're old. Yes.
The whole dialogue that we're doing is just all comes from creative exercises and games and stuff. It's not like we're just sitting there having this heavy talk. It's very, people say it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very interactive.
A father was showing his teenage daughter how to use a typewriter because the internet was down, and she typed her entire big
Term paper or
project for
something.
school, term paper. And then she said to her father, "Now, what do you press to print it out?"
Several things. One is I really look down on newfangled inventions like the typewriter. Personally, I like to etch cuneiforms into stone. That's the real way. The second thing is I have amazing admiration for the giants of yore who sat down and typed out entire manuscripts
Mhm.
on typewriters. They were something. But then finally, we owe the QWERTY keyboard to typewriters. This unusual layout was made because people typed too fast for the mechanical typewriter machines. So they had to make it more difficult in order for the machines to work well. And we still have that today, this weird QWERTY.
They figured out the likelihood of which two letters would,
Yeah,
are unlikely to go together. So-
yeah.
Thank you,
It's
IBM.
fascinating, the whole thing.
So how many people learned to type in high school? So isn't that the funniest thing that I worked for IBM after being a teacher for a while and sat down, and it was way before personal computers, but we already had dumb terminals, we called them. So keyboards and screens. And I'm sitting there realizing, who knew I would end up typing for a living? Right? I mean, aren't most people typing for a living now? One way or the other, you're on a keyboard doing something, interacting with the internet. So wild. But I looked around for the erase key. So. Now, in another act of providence, I left the prayer list at home. So what do you say? We just say names of people. I would like to especially mention Elisa Davidson, who is very interested in coming back to Pennsylvania. Barbara's mother, who passed in May. Chris LaRue recovering from surgery. Bill anticipating treatment coming up beginning next Monday. You go with our blessings all around you. So add names, my friends. Your own.
Diane Bynum and Louise Ryan.
Marv Watts, Fred Gallant, Ryan Tony.
Mhm.
Chris Engelhardt.
Larry Patrick.
Mhm.
Chris and Tony Coolidge.
Mm.
Chloe Iceland. And Carol May.
Mhm.
Barb Kuzo. Pebble Hill Church and being able to stay in this physical space.
Mhm. Amen. My daughter Anna broke her foot. Hmm. Hmm. Julie, is it Schoenberg? Mm. God bless Julie. How old is she, Gary? Mm.
My friend Jenny Bodine, who is bravely facing mental challenges.
Mm.
Ruth Allman. James Ferrero and T.C. Miller and their relationship.
Mm. Nancy and her sister's relationship, and Cookie and Levi's relationship. Bear with me while I ask for your prayers for the president, Joe Biden. May he know that he is a treasure, that he has had the most amazing career as a statesman. Whatever the decision, may he understand that he has done well. He has done a great service to this country. And may he understand that he is loved despite the indelicateness of this time.
Steward of the United States of America, no matter what happens, has been richly fulfilled.
Best president of my lifetime,
Hmm.
especially with regard to the future and climate.
Hmm.
And he can do it.
This is a nice problem to have when we need to make our circle bigger. So we ask that there be an end to war everywhere in this world, an end to hunger in this world, and that we all do what we can to lessen the suffering in this world. We ask blessings on all the creatures of the earth, all of the earth's precious, precious bits and pieces, living and seemingly unliving, the rocks, the water, and may the goodness that surrounds us be magnified. Amen. So I think we'll pass the offering basket and listen to a song by Derek Marshall that Gary has queued up here.
Roz, I don't know where this goes, but June 26th is the anniversary of when I had to pull the plug for my wife, Jessie. They let me do it at 2:47 p.m. because they knew they were responsible for her death. And they messed that up too. So it happened at 3:47.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask about the passing of loved ones or the anniversary. Are there others besides Jesse?
July 23rd.
How long ago? Oh, I thought that sounds like it's from the system. I thought it might be somebody on Zoom. Oh, Carol. And there's Carol. I told Carol she's been our most steadfast Zoomer all along, right? So hello, Carol, if you're there right now. So Gary, I'm gonna go for it. Or we could do the good morning song again. Well, if you want, let's save it till maybe save it till the end and get started on the poetry. Yeah, we'll do the poetry starting as soon as our basket comes around. Might be a good time to grab something to eat or drink if you wish.
David. Thank you.
There's David. Hello, Dave. Thank you very much for your gifts. I forgot to thank you last week for your gifts. So we'll use them as best we can. And everybody knows Alan and Joanne are down in Atlanta, right? Taking care of the little dude, Sonny, while his dad gets surgery or got surgery. I guess it went well. So they'll be back for next Sunday and then we'll be off for a bit. All right, thank you very much. And I think it's time to start our poetry sharing. So just like last week, we've got a microphone that's going around. We've got this one that's available for folks closer to this side of the room. And when you're on the screen, and we'll try and get back to the screen, Gary, before people start to read their poems. We'll try and have that person on the camera. Jen. Oh, yay. Okay, well, why don't we start with you? Always hogging the spotlight, man. It might be, if you're holding it, how about if we just give you the whole? Sorry, Barbara. Yeah.
Okay, a little intro on this poem. I guess about 11 years at a sanctuary, an animal sanctuary, a big cat sanctuary in Africa. They had received a beautiful black leopard named Diablo. And Diablo would not leave his cage, and he was snarling and angry and everything, and they didn't know what to do about him. So they brought in an animal communicator. If you have not seen the videos about this or know about the story, look it up. It's incredible. So this poem is from the viewpoint of Diablo. They call me Diablo. I do not like that name. It isn't who I am. They don't know who I am. They don't even try to know me. These strange hairless apes, keeping me prisoner, disrespecting me, mistreating me. I'm not existing for their amusement. I am not their property or plaything. I am powerful and magnificent. Yet they named me after the devil. It is the devil, oh, I'm sorry. If the devil truly exists, it is them and not I. The only friends I seem to have in this cruel world are two leopard cub sisters for neighbors. I hope that they will fare well. No time to say farewell. I'm leaving this place now. I don't know where I'm going. I hope it is better than here. I've finally reached my destination. They call it a sanctuary, but I don't feel safe. There are humans here too. Stay away from me. I can end you. With just one swipe of my mighty paw, don't come near me. Don't come near me. You must fear me. You must fear me. I don't want to leave this cage. I don't want to explore. I can't contain this rage. I can't stand it anymore. Who is this human? She is different from the others. We connect. She understands me. I feel seen. I feel heard. I have nothing to fear anymore. I am loved. I am respected. I want to explore. I ask her if she knows what happened to my cub friends. I want to know if they're okay. She assures me that they are. I believe her. I trust her. I feel relieved. Perhaps I will see them again someday. I tell her I want my name changed. I am not dark nor diabolical, even if my fur is black. My new name now is Spirit. I like that name much better, for I am free and powerful, and my caretakers are good. Time goes by. I am happy. The cubs are now fully grown and sharing this space with me. We are all family here. Thank you.
Annie, you look like you've got something written out. I do.
Oh, okay. Stand up. I'll stand up. Okay, I thought the poetry last week was absolutely beautiful, and I hope that you'll be able to send in copies of it so that we can all have that. And and I thought a poem, I don't have any poems. There's no favorite poems that I have. And then I thought of a time when I was a student nurse at a huge metropolitan hospital in Manhattan, New York, Manhattan, New York. And I was caring for a man named Goodwin Keynes, who was from an island in the Caribbean area. It's called St. Kitts, Kitts. And I cared for him. He had a very, very severe break to the bones in his leg. So, and they couldn't care for him down there. So they sent him up to Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan, New York, where I was a student nurse. And then it was time. His healing was advanced enough that he could go back to St. Kitts. No. And we had a friendship. It was a deep friendship. I was only a student nurse and he was a patient, and it was a pure friendship. And I'll see if I can get through this. And he wrote this poem. Okay. And believe it or not, it was in my memory. I didn't have it written down anywhere. I don't know where his paper was, but let me see if I can do it. When I but stop to think upon the joys we once did share, the good old days and months of fun we've spent together here. I find it hard to credit that I now must say adieu. In other words, we've said it. I can scarce believe it's true. But then, of course, these things must be, as someone did style. The best things of this life, though free, they last but for a while. And so I give with heart sincere my parting wish for you. May success crown your future days with much prosperity, and may good luck be yours always until eternity. Thank you.
What you said about Diablo touches into this, which is something all of us have to understand. And I appreciate what you're doing with your program on Thursday night down in the city for mental health. This is called Boundaries, written by Jonathan Green. I have these here for me. even though you think they are some reflection on you, and maybe in a way they are, because your obliviousness is the linchpin of this measure. My boundaries are protection from the emotional interruption that you cause in my life. And when I say you, it's not just you, because so many people try to cross a line that they know is drawn in the sand for a reason. If you're confused about boundaries, it's likely because you don't have any, and that is why you are unprotected in the wild of everyday life, allowing others to suck your blood and sap your energy. I don't feel bad about my boundaries. I feel proud about my boundaries because the confidence of self-care is the mindful practice I need to make the back half of it all it should be. And I'm fine with you not being along this wonderful ride. Boundaries, Jonathan Green.
Her name, the poet, it's not me. I'm just a messenger. Her name is Araya Mountain Dreamer, and she wrote this poem when she came back from a party where she felt really unfulfilled with the connection. And she was a poet, so she had students, she had workshops, and she sent the poem out. She wrote it all that night. She sent it out to 800 people that were in her communication group. And the bottom line is different things happened through the years, but she was finally contacted to write a book about the poem. So she didn't expect, kind of like a moose thing, she didn't expect anything out of it, but this is her poem. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened up by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with the wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, or to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint others to be true to yourself, if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. I want to know if you can be faithless and therefore be trustworthy. I want to know if you can see the beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done for the children. It doesn't interest me who you are or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. Wow. What's that? The Invitation. Araya, Mountain Dreamer. Yeah. Oh, sure. Thank you.
Oh. Well, I was very impressed by your comments.
Louder.
I was very impressed by your comments on us caging animals. And,
Microphone closer.
all right,
Just pull it.
we'll make it part. There we go. Okay. When I was a little kid, 3, 4 years old, hardly knew what I was seeing. My parents would take me and took me several times to the Philadelphia Zoo. And back then it was a lot uglier than it is now, in the sense that it seemed like various animals were captured in a box that was no bigger than they were. Some boxes were big, some boxes were small, but all of them were separated from the rest of society that we had around there. And that made a big, big impression on me and always has. So I wanted to flip to the other side. Now I'm much, much older than I was then. And my cognitive abilities are slipping away. I can enumerate them. Probably if you heard my comments a little bit earlier, I would say how I used to count things and figure out how long passwords, because I'm computer, and how many passwords could I memorize? And so that was the thought came back to me on that. And the thought is very loud to me at this point because I'm well aware that most things that I think I know aren't there anymore. And it's just if you want to be a little bit too excessive, I get to the point where I have a story or I'm involved in something with someone else, which I still am to my best of my extent. When I forget things like I'm starting to do now, like what was the next paragraph he was thinking about? I come back other times and I can see that again. So I'm just saying, and I'm just hopefully telling other people that it isn't simple. It's a complex thing. Your life slowly changes. What you can do slowly changes, what you can afford to do. That's my position now. And I'm now learning, in some sense, to be that caged animal. But hopefully, assuming that there is some continuum there that contains both me and that poor magpie or what have you that I remember from when I was just this high, that all of us from the smallest bird, I keep a bird feeder fed out back of my house. I just, that allows me to continue to touch birds. And so there is a continuation, and I hope that all of us can turn that continuation, whether it's helping somebody in the latter part of their life, pass on in a most happy way. And I think that is possible. And I hope that I can do that, be one of those people. So that's all.
Andy, I just want you to know how much I love you. And you are a brilliant mind technically. You are the person the only person in our congregation who could have delivered Zoom to us. Honest to God, we all owe an incredible debt of thanks to Andy, who like Circle of Miracles paid thousands of dollars for professionals to set up their system.
Well, thank you. You helped me in creating this thing here.
Yeah, about 5%, you know?
Yeah, but we did it about 5 times until it worked.
Yeah, yes, we did.
So it was equally,
And beyond that, you are so deep spiritually. I have heard you speak with such clarity and beauty in spiritual terms that it melts my heart, Andy. Thank you for being you.
I wanted to say that what I love is every time that you're here and we have flowers and Karen isn't here, he takes flowers home to Karen. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, a moose.
We just had a full moon.
Today.
It's today, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think it was early, wasn't it early in the morning? Yeah, it was, it happened already. I have found that one of my best friends is the moon. I always say hello to it. I talk to it. And this was one encounter I had with it called Nighttime Encounter. I travel toward home as darkness falls. I turn east and something catches my eye, then is gone again. What was that? Could it be? I peer in the direction where it disappeared. Then it pops up again out of the treetops. Ooh, it's so big. A huge, perfect, soft, deep orange balloon. The moon. It is full. The strawberry moon, so named by Native Americans long ago. The full moon that falls on a summer solstice. It is a rare occurrence, a magnificent sight. I am filled with delight and awe. I pull my car over to take in its magical splendor. Before me, this large orb floats slowly, barely perceptibly rising in its upward path. Its top edge softens into a misty cloud. Soon the whole of it becomes just a warm glow. I drive on. Now the top bright orange edge clears the cloud and the whole moon emerges to blaze once again, framed in the darkening sky. I pull over a second time to better watch. It's doing a sort of slow dance now, with the ribbons of clouds in its path. I take in its graceful ascent through yet more dark fingers. Peeking and hiding, peeking and hiding, seeping upward into the deepening darkness. It perches on the top edge of each horizontal black bar as it rises yet higher. Black and orange stripe the sky now. Will that magical glowing ball be finally engulfed in the clouded night sky? It is softer now and a little smaller too, looking almost pink, strawberry color. What majesty is ours to view if we only notice. Haze thickens the air. There is just a glow now from behind the soft stripes. The visual show is almost over. I drive on again toward home. Then, surprise! Suddenly the sky is clear. The moon has broken free. It shines in brilliant glory, a round medallion of silver. It's looking down on me now. Hi, moon. I saw you being born out of the dark soil, out of the treetops, all new and red and heavy in the murky sky. Now look at you, flying free amongst the stars, your shining face washed clean. What mysteries can you see that I cannot? Above what exotic lands do you hover? when you disappear from my sight. You bathe in sunshine while I am in darkness. You revel in sights I'll never see. But the memory of you and your magnificence is in my heart and mind to ponder. Your light will illuminate my paths in the future and be my inspiration.
Well, I was going to read one about nature too, but since she did, I'm going to read one that's more honest about me, part of me. Let me find it. Okay, it's called Endless Cycles. This is, I don't know that if I may have shared this with you. I don't know. Since can remember walking, I have had a terrible problem with rage. And that could be because I have bipolar disorder. It's a common symptom. But some years ago, my husband and I decided he too had an issue with it, and we decided to get help for it. And we together started going to Rageaholics Anonymous. And I would say this has been about, geez, I don't know, probably about 12 years that I've been going to Rageaholics Anonymous, and it has helped me so much. And I have not lost my temper in years in a way that upsets me. I feel, I've learned to deal with my anger much better. So this is an old poem about when I was really in it. Endless cycles. Round and round I go, where I stop, only the one doth know. Get me off this merry-go-round. I'm tired of being illusion bound. You tell me nothing but love is real. Removing obstacles to love is the deal. Yet fear keeps the blocks a-coming. My mind forgets and starts slumming. Rage pushes blood fast through veins. Judgment leaves my body full of pains. Being right trumps the wish for joy. Manipulating others becomes my ploy. Temper tantrums of the hair trigger type flare up with every ugly gripe. Savior behavior follows guilt trips, and once again the scale of balance tips. As I look for someone to constantly blame, victimhood steadily becomes my middle name. Utter shame is the side effect of all this muck, my tears being the only way to get unstuck. I cry for forgiveness of others and self. I'm yearning to put this anger on the shelf. I seek the tenderness of a mother dear, the purity of her fawn and the way they stay near. I want to be close without the claws, to stop being right and seeking out flaws. Please give me a break. My brain is tired. I want one that's free of blame and totally rewired. Yes, it takes me, of which I've got, yes, it takes time, of which I've got much. A dab of patience would be just the right touch. I'm praying for peace with all of my heart. I'm asking you, God, for a brand new start.
So I do want to be able to collect these if that will be possible. So we'll figure out how to do that. Jen, do you have a poem, Jen? You weren't here last week. I'm so glad you're here this week. So let's pass it over to Jen.
This is for my dear friend Lorraine. I've known her for more than 25 years, and she's going through a divorce because of her husband's financial and sexual infidelities. I saw them through their courtship, marriage, birth of 2 kids, and she right now is in Schroon Lake, New York State.
Camp was.
Oh, was it? Really? Oh my God. Okay. She bought a laundromat there, and she has poetry readings there. And I'm happy to say that she still maintains a sense of playfulness. One of her employees is responsible for cleaning the lint from some of the baskets in the dryer. He did that one day, or he was cleaning out the lint and pulled out a rubber snake. That's Lorraine at play. But anyway. Okay. Lorraine. This poem is called Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.
Jen, I brought the same poem. And Barbara is loving it, so I gave her my copy.
Thanks. So this one I've had tacked up on my refrigerator for about 20 years. And it's about happiness. Sorry, better. Happiness does not come from things that we acquire, but from what already resides within us. Things acquired can be lost. Jobs can come to an end. People can move on. Cars can break down. These things are not permanent and therefore cannot make us happy for eternity. The heart and mind that is constant and peaceful and compassionate will forever be the heart and mind of happiness.
Right there. You wrote it. Lovely. Thank you. Just the other day, my partner Roseanne, with all the politics that's going on right now, was saying how she wished that people could realize that we're all the same, no matter our color of our skin, our religious beliefs, political beliefs. And I was looking for a poem this morning, and I found one in my Maya Angelou book that is about this. The human family. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious, some thrive on comedy. Some declare their lives are lived as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse, bemuse, delight, brown and pink and beige and purple, tan and blue and white. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane, but I've not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. We love and lose in China, we weep on England's moors, and laugh and moan in Guinea, and thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, are born and die in Maine. In minor ways we different, in major we're the same. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friend, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
Oh, somebody else is gonna go.
Oh, you're holding the book, right? Did you want it? Oh,
Go ahead, Robin. Get in the center.
So this is not a poem, but it's strikes me as poetically powerful. It's I want to share with you about mothering and the power of mothers. I was driving home from swimming at the Ambler YMCA, which is a distance from where I live in Hatboro, not far. But there's a lot of nice grassy, greeny areas along the way. And I came to a mother deer standing on the side of the road. And I came by it in my car and she didn't move. And I stopped my car and I looked, and her baby had just been hit and had died. And she wasn't going to move. So I opened my door and said, "You got to go, sweetie. You got to move." She ran off. That's one mother's story. And the other one, my daughter's husband was driving, coming back home to her and the little baby Thea a week ago. And he either saw the young woman be hit by a car or came right after she was hit. She was on the side of the road. And crowd had come around and they were trying to comfort her and didn't know if she was still breathing. And he went on home and he told Nakaya, and Nakaya can do resuscitation, CPR. So she went back to the scene, and there was a young man lying beside her to try to put a hand on her and just to keep her covered. He did put a hand in the right place to check for a pulse. And Nakaya, what she wrestled with was, should I just push them aside, and tried it. And then the ambulance arrived and they were at it, trying to help this young woman. Moments later, so it would have only been a couple minutes difference to get her started, giving her resuscitation. And it was on the news that she went to critical care. And she called me up. It turned out it was on my birthday. She texted me and said, "Daddy, I think I need to see you. This is what happened." And I've been checking in with her. By the time she got to me on the day of my birthday, the 18th, she had been losing sleep, not knowing what happened to the girl. I think she had let go of whether she could have done CPR and made a difference or not. But I keep checking in with her now each night and morning and saying, "How was last night?" And she said had such a peaceful day with the baby, being with another baby on a play date, that she slept well and she was happy about that. But then the next night, she did wake up that night, the 18th, my birthday. She did wake up that night, but was able to nurse the baby and go back to sleep. But then last night, she said, "Dad, I woke up, and as I was trying to get my overtired baby back to sleep and stroking her, I pictured the mother of this young lady stroking her. And I go back to that mother deer. She was not going to leave, protecting that side of the road. I just want to say what an incredibly powerful thing it is to watch your daughter become a mother. But just mothering in general is so amazing, and so is fathering. Watching my son-in-law become a father, and when they took the baby to CHOP after 24 hours of it being home for 5 days, worried about it. I just wanted to say that out loud to somebody because I've held it. Few months.
No, go ahead. You go first.
I do, but yours is going to be more emotional than mine, so please go.
Well, I want to say, someone was reading that it's really life to feel our feelings. So I am feeling a lot of life in here. Really, everybody though. It's a lot of beauty. Okay. And Moose, and you've heard it already, but anyway. On a train to Connecticut. I look back at what I went through, the struggle, the trying to move a wall, the aimlessness. It's hard to look at. I feel a dent in my stomach, a rope gripping my throat, ice forming my face. Going to Connecticut, the tears want to flow, relieving any remains of pain from a life unlived, from a life not mine, not my own, a life led from a collected bag of ideals that I thought were it. I thought it was a piece of clay to be molded by the world's hands, and I created a dry, cold, lifeless sculpture, immobile, statuesque. And I said, hey, so I did it. I did all you told me, and I'm dead. I can only observe. I can't move. I can't feel without feeling I'm doing something bad. Self-conscious, guilty, afraid. A sculpture is not free to move of its own. It needs someone to lift it up and place it. It can't talk unless someone pretends it's me and they are really the one talking. It can't be. It has to be profound and perfect. It has to be wound up to maintain its tune, polished with affection, caressed to maintain its glow. Inside, it rumbles and grumbles to burst free, wanting the freedom to choose, to see beyond the room it has been situated in, the showroom. I thought it was glamorous. It looked like a most prestigious choice, and all the world knew and admired and idolized the sculptures in the room. How marvelous I thought to be somebody, to be somebody. Now I want to move and talk and sing my own tune and dance my own dance and write my own stories and see from my whole perspective, spectrum, and live. And it's hard. The sculpture needs nurturing and belief in itself. And afraid she might not be real. And they'll put her in the crazy house, which would be worse than the showroom. Afraid they'll say she is no good, mushy, tacky, self-indulgent, to this or to that. And the clay turns to flesh. And the being is raw and soft and smooth and warm and vulnerable. And the heart and brain and blood are real.
Oh, no, there he goes. Here is a poem that no one knows who has written it. It has been on my office wall for 30 years. It was given to me by a fellow storyteller, along with a tiny bag of mustard seeds. As swimmers dare to lie face to sky, and water bears them, as hawks rest upon the air, and air sustains them, so would I learn to attain free fall and float into Creator Spirit's deep embrace, knowing no effort earns that all surrounding grace.
Oh, thank you. I only need one. Sure you know that. Let me get my glasses on. So I can see. Well, this is a Robert Frost poem that you probably all know, but I think it's sort of a commentary on life, a commentary. Like this? Oh, Okay, and then I got to, okay. It's a Robert Frost poem that I think you probably all know. It's been one of my favorite poems for years. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods filled up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. And then I just wanted to say, for years and years and years, that was just my favorite poem. And then there are two, quote, poets recently in my time in the 60s, right? Who just 3 lines, and it's slow down, you move too fast. You have to make the moment last.
There was a man from Nantucket who, accident quite uncanny, happened to my elderly granny. She sat in a chair while her false teeth laid there and bit herself right in the fanny. That's the safest that I get with my lyrics.
The day my husband died, he couldn't speak because he was intubated, and he had a little board in front of him. And the last thing he wrote on that board was, slow down, you move too fast. And I knew he was trying to give me a final message. And now I'm really getting it now more than ever.
I have one.
Well, all this wonderful poetry and the emotions, to me, the greatest poem, song, speech, or encounter even is one that brings emotion. But it just happens that one of my favorite poets happens to have been dead like 200 years. So he's not very emotional. Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman really did not burst upon the scene when his poems were published in 1855. He was ignored, and he had been he had been a failed newspaper man, and there were a lot of immigrants coming into New York City. He was raised and lived in Brooklyn, and so he decided to build houses for the immigrants. And for 4 years, he tried selling these houses that he was building for the immigrants, and that didn't work out either. But at the end of those 4 years, he published Leaves of Grass. And he said, I'm the cosmos. You know, you've been looking for a poet. They were looking for an American literature. They were tired, you know, the people in the arts were tired of just copying and reframing the old world. They wanted something American. And this guy said, I'm it. He wasn't shy at all. And he might have been the inventor of blank verse. I'm not sure. So his poetry doesn't rhyme much. I'm going to read this one on page 26. There's another one real short that I would also like to read. You really have to read a lot of Whitman to get a grip on how wide his consciousness was. And not only encompassing people and places and all of that, but encompassing the universe and our place in it and how we were all one. So let's see, the first one is page number 26, page 26. A child said, "What is this grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it's the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks and among white. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Tenderly will I use you curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people or from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps, and here you, the grass, are the mother's laps. This grass is very dark to be from white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about the old men and mothers, and the offspring taken soon out of their laps. What do you think has become of the old men? What do you think has become of the women and children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there really is no death. And if ever there was, it led forward life. If ever there was, that death led forward life, and it ceased the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward, nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier. And page 29. I saw the marriage of the trapper in the open air in the far west. The bride was a red girl. His father and his friends sat near, cross-legged and smoking. They had moccasins to their feet and large, thick blankets hanging from their shoulders. On a bank lounged the trapper. He was dressed mostly in skins. His luxuriant beard and curls protected his neck. He held his bride by the hand. She had long eyelashes. Her head was bare. Her coarse, straight locks descended upon her voluptuous limbs and reached to her feet. The runaway slave came to my house and stopped outside. I heard his motions crackling the twigs of the woodpile. Through the swung half door of the kitchen, I saw him limpsy and weak, and went where he sat on a log and led him in and assured him, and brought water and filled a tub for his sweated body and bruised feet, and gave him a room that entered from my own, and gave him some coarse, clean clothes, and remember perfectly well his revolving eyes and his awkwardness, and remember putting plasters on the galls of his neck and ankles. He stayed with me a week before he was recuperated and passed north. I had him sit next to me at table. My rifle leaned in the corner.
Good, very good.
So we do have music that we want to play, but is there anyone who, Dave, did you?
I have one on Zoom.
Oh, Carol? Oh, wonderful. All right. Did you hear we shouted out to you earlier about being the most steadfast Zoomer?
I did.
You get the medal when you come back in.
All right. Well, I will
Okay,
be back.
go
I will
for it.
be in. I'm reading from a book that I read every day as a sort of a meditation poem. It's called Lifting Hearts Off the Ground, Declaring Indigenous Rights in Poetry by Lila June Johnston and Joy DeVito. Lila June, I know from conferences I've attended on shamanism and
Carol, can you talk a little closer to your microphone?
I can't, I'll just pull it up closer, get gets my face awfully close, but that's all right. But I have to be able to read at the same time. So, this is a collection of poem that's founded in a Declaration of Indigenous Rights by Lila June is a Native American woman, and Joy DeVito is a Canadian settler, as she's referred to in there. But they've paired their poems and about 60 of them in a small book, and that's a meditation for me for each day. Here's one that I love in particular. I'm sorry, hold a second there. It's in conjunction with a declaration about the right of Indigenous people to practice their traditional medicine and spirituality. So it goes. Sweet cedar smoke curls into the midnight sky. The image of the people are entering. The songs of the people are entering. Our bodies teaching each cell, each strand of DNA about beauty and wonder. In this phosphorescent chant, visible only to closed eyes, that weaves in between our dreams, sewing our consciousness to the sky. Through this beauty, we find a world inside a world. We arise at dawn. Once the ceremony is complete, like newborns, we are born of the womb. And the companion poem from the Canadian woman is viewing tradition as mysticism that threatens the system means that well-being comes at a cost. Story, ceremony, and healing are silenced. In hospitals that recognize only Western science, paperwork and forms transmit information with proof of illness in printed form. Spirituality and personhood dissolved by the system.
Thank you, Carol. Yeah. We're getting a little round of applause out here. All right, we do need to, yeah. Okay, and Gary would really like to share the music from Derek, so go ahead. All right, here. Take this one. Take this one, it's fine. Oh.
This is Billy Collins. The dog stops off to sniff the poems of others before reciting her own.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Is there more? Robin, were you? No. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry if some people didn't get to share, but let's listen to Derek Marshall, and then if you decide, Dave, to read yours, go ahead. So let's go with Derek Marshall, and reminder of the concert next Saturday night, the 27th of July, here at Pebble. Scoot over there so that people get out of the way.
inch and you take a mile. Hope someday that I'll see you smile again. Don't wanna wait till the summer's end. When we met, it was make believe. You were better than even I can see. Now that you're gone, there's no reprieve. A desire beyond control. Gave you my heart, you took my soul. I need you back to make me whole again. Will this odyssey ever end? When we kissed down by the lake, it was my life you did take away. You're gone, but the feeling stays. You give an inch and you take a mile. Since you left, my heart's been on trial. I have to admit, I'm in denial. A desire beyond control. Gave you my heart, you took my soul. I need you back to make me whole again. Will this odyssey ever end? I gave an inch and you took a mile. I know it's gonna be a while. It's gotta wait till the summer's end. Gave you an inch and you took a mile. I know I'm gonna see you smile. Just gotta wait till the summer's end. See your face again. Just gotta wait till the summer's end.
Thank you. You got another one?
Derek is a wonderful, I don't know if any of you know, it's just the light. Oh, what did he be like, roughly? It's the one thing, 25, when he was a kid, we used to just dance all night together, really, like one time that happened.
Yeah. Hey, thanks everybody who's here.
I'm a millennial, not too congenial. If I were a flower, I would be a perennial. I'm a millennial, not too congenial. What does the future hold? Due to our smartphones and social media, we don't fit any previous criteria. Blame the GMOs, school cafeteria. 'Cause I'm a millennial who needs reality, living in a dream state. Our invitation to the game was always clickbait. You sold our future out, take time to contemplate. 'Cause I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial, not too congenial. If I were a flower, I would be a perennial. I'm a millennial, not too congenial. What does the future hold? They say we need to figure out our generation's
If you want to buy
gas
tickets for the concert, me, I have six available tickets. $3 in advance, $20 for online.
It's our life and a destiny that we create. But I'm afraid now that we seal the fate, 'cause I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial. I took a millennial. If I were power, I would be a perennial. I'm a millennial. I took a millennial. What does the future hold?
Thank you. You're welcome.
Your daughter.
Yeah,
Is she gonna be okay?
I think so. Let me just try to pause. Let me see this for a second. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. Let me just turn off the Zoom. Hold on one second.